I don't hear any. I don't hear.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I got
What's
you.
good?
I got you feeding through my mixer over here. I got an external a Zoom H6 mixer.
Ooh,
Little mini
shit.
ones, you know.
Yeah. I got I kind of upgraded my setup too from the last time I spoke to you.
Do tell.
I think I got this mic. I think last time I had the Rode Pod mic, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, yeah. I got this one, which I know you've got it in gray, I believe, right? The
Yes.
RE20. Yeah, like you're just like me, because remember I asked you about it. I asked you, I was like, why did you get the RE20? And you were like, because Joe had it, and that's the main reason why I wanted to get it too, because I was like, well, if he's using it, it's got to be fucking good, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. So that's why I got it. I'm happy with it.
Well, listen, man.
I'm happy with it.
I'm really happy to have you here and about to have this conversation here with you. You know what I mean? I've been watching the platform from before we had our first interview, and now from then to now, this has been like.
It's crazy. It's nuts, bro. It's nuts. It's crazy because you were my first interview. You were the first person that even asked me to do an interview, I believe.
Really?
So like, I always got to do an interview with We Love Hip Hop. I always got like, no matter what. And I remember the last time we spoke, you were like, you're a big fish now. And I didn't feel like I was like, and you know what's crazy? I still don't. I still don't. I don't feel any different from then, and I don't feel any different from when I first started.
Well, listen.
It's like, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I'm still just starting. Like I still got a long way to go, right?
Well, listen, man. Like you've done really well in a short space of time since the last time we spoke. Let me give you a proper intro just for the people who are in our listening audience who aren't watching the video right now. This gentleman right here is, I would say, one of the big three in the YouTube essay department right now. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing this thing, representing and being a Canadian-born man. You might see him from the most concise breakdowns of Kendrick Lamar and Drake songs during this whole civil war that's been going on. With no further ado, we have Matt from What's the Dirt in the motherfucking building.
You know, his relationships, his friendships is interesting because just 2 or 3 years later, the dude did get depressed from just being in the industry.
I didn't know. Big
Let's
salute.
go. What an intro.
You won't be able to hear it, but I got air horns going on for you.
Okay, dope. I appreciate the air horns, and fire intro, bro. Fire.
So what's been going on with you, man? Like I said, you how does it feel to be one of the big three?
It feels like I've still got a long way to go, man. Like I said, but just having people receive the content like they've been receiving it is that's all I could ask for, is someone who puts so much time into these videos, right? Like that's what means the most, is how it's received. And I get paranoid sometimes. I'm like, are people really gonna, like, how are they gonna feel about this? Like this take? And I ponder on it, and like I'm like, maybe I'm gonna get destroyed for this. But then it turns out, like, a lot of times people be like, yo, they're all for it. So that's the best part.
So far, so good, man. Like, I've been just seeing you getting mentioned on a lot of different platforms. You know, I see at the end of your videos, especially the length of that trailer at the end of the video is growing.
It's grown, yeah. No, that's invaluable for me, getting acknowledged from people like Joe Budden and academics. I mean, regardless of what you want to say, they're two titans in this media space. I mean, to me, Joe was the best that ever did it as far as media personality. And in academics, you'd be hard pressed, in my opinion, to find someone who does what he does. No, I don't think anyone does what he does better. Getting on a stream for 8 hours, 8 hours, and entertaining in the way that he does.
Yeah.
No one's doing it. Like, he is the GOAT of it. He is the GOAT of doing that. And so getting shout outs from people like that, invaluable. I saw that you had the company man on, and the company man took notice of the videos. And so that is invaluable, bro. It's dope. It's dope.
Yeah, you know, it is dope because technically, like with Justin Hunt, the company man, with him and the videos that he was doing on Hip Hop DX back in the days, the breakdown videos, right? That was the original YouTube essay videos.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, he's like the godfather of the shit.
He's the GOAT. He paved the way. People like him, people like Ack again. They're the people. They're the forefathers of the shit. You know, they laid down the bricks for people like me to make the content I'm making. And like the company man said, it's just a more evolved form of what he was doing. That's all it is, right? As far as the fancy editing and all that stuff, right? And just the way that things are being explained. But at the end of the day, he was the first to do it.
Yeah. What are your
thoughts? Which is a pretty crazy accolade.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts on what he was saying in our conversation? I don't know if you caught the full convo, but just a quick paraphrase. He was saying that you, Trapler Ross, and other guys have pretty much taken up the beef department. Do you believe that? I was kind of defending you, but I had bad defense, man.
I don't do, like, all I do is focus on the music, right? So while I do respect Trapler Ross, and I would never say that he didn't inspire what I'm doing today, but our channels are completely different. I mean, Trapler Ross focuses on gang violence and stuff. I don't do none of that on the channel. So if you can go through my whole discography, there's nothing there, but it's always about the music. It's always about breaking down bars. It's always about music, right? So that's all I do on the channel. That's all I'm ever going to do on the channel. That's where it stays. So yeah, like you can compare us in just, I don't even know how you could compare us really, because what we do is completely different.
Well, what he was saying is that essentially it's still beef because, you're breaking down different rap beefs that happen. Yeah,
I mean, Trapler Ross started out doing more stuff like what I'm doing, right? Like the Jay-Z, and
how Jay-Z shot his brother.
Yeah, I believe he covered The Weeknd versus Drake at one point. He's covered Joe Budden versus Drake. Amazing videos. But he seemed to somewhat veer away from that in these more recent times, where now he's kind of found a niche in the crime documentaries, right? Where he's smashing it, like he's killing it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw how much noise his King Von documentary did. Like, he's got that space cornered. And that's a whole other subsection of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Hip hop crime. People like looking at paperwork. People like looking at the court documents. Is a whole other thing, right?
Well, true crime is one of the biggest genres just on the internet, period, when it comes to people just entertainment wise, right?
Well, for me, that's pretty much me and my girl. That's all we really watch is true crime, like serial killer shit and all that stuff, right? We're always watching stuff like that, right? First
Same.
48 and yeah, like it's just on. I don't know what's going on with this globe behind me. It's bouncing right now.
It's about to explode.
It's not supposed to do that.
Oh,
yeah, it's about to explode. I think my dog probably hit it with his tail or something and knocked it off kilt.
Let me ask you something on the whole Trapler Ross thing as well, right? With the lengths of his videos, he started making, now they're like 4-hour videos, some of them. Are you thinking of going in that lane? Your videos have gotten longer too.
They have, but for me, it's just a matter of what determines the length of the video for me is like when I need to get all the information in there. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm shooting for 2 hours, an hour and a half. Like when I start a video, I have no idea how long it's going to be. But then when I start putting in all my commentary, putting in all the research, it could be, I think the longest one I did was just over an hour. But if there ever comes to a time where I'm covering a topic where it needs to be 3 hours to get all the information, then it'll be 3 hours, right?
3 hours it is.
Right? It'll be what it is. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people now who have been switching over to that, and I think he's again, like, he's one of the first people who did that too.
Yeah,
putting out these. So he's a goat, man. He's a goat in this space for sure.
Well, listen, fam, you're becoming a goat in this space too. I would say it was the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, the 100% full story explained. Am I right when I say that was the one that just took off? Like right now it's at 7.4 million if I'm not mistaken.
Big video. Yeah, no, that was the one that took my channel in a different direction.
At this point, Kendrick is begging Drake to just call him out. He makes a reference to a popular 90s movie, Candyman, where the premise...
Like the beginning, like when the channel really started to pick up, I did a video on Joe Budden versus DJ Vlad.
Yep.
And that one got like 200K at the time. That was by far at that time my biggest video I'd ever done. And then that's what made me realize, they like this type of content.
Yeah.
Because I was always trying to find out, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, you know? And then when I did the Drake versus Kendrick thing, that video really exploded from the beginning. It had like 1 million views in like a couple of days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of died down. But then when all this shit sparked up again, the video went like this because so many new people were trying to figure out, like, why are these guys beefing? I put that out 7 months ago, long before the beef was ever in existence. But I'm breaking down the little subliminal shots that they took back and forth and explaining the competition between the two of them and why they may not like each other. So it added so much context for people that didn't know.
Yeah.
And at the time, a lot of people would say that, oh no, like this is a reach or whatever. But now it's proven that, you know, they did have some static for a while.
Dude,
and
you had videos that were showing people saying, oh shit, dude was right from the What's the Dirt channel the whole time.
Yeah.
Did I see that on your Instagram or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I got kickback. I always got a little bit of kickback, but it seems like whatever I've been saying so far, like, somehow comes true. Mm-hmm. So it's like all the stars have been aligning for me somehow.
Yeah, because when that video dropped, I remember watching it in real time. I didn't think it was a reach. I was like, that's a pretty good observation. Yeah, they have been taking a lot of shots for a long time. And in that video, you were breaking down songs from almost 10 years ago, or 10 years ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess at the time, like you just mentioned, like people were giving you a little bit of backlash, like, relax, bro.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. That song wasn't for Drake. That song wasn't for Kendrick.
Exactly. Yeah, and like, bro, I always felt like we would one day get this beef. I always felt like one day Drake and Kendrick would go toe to toe. Always. I've said it many, many times. Like, one of these days, these two guys are going to go head to head. And we just got it.
You're Matchstradamus. So since that video started blowing up, the subscribers. Okay, first let's unpack it piece by piece for a quick second here. The video starts going crazy. What does the subscriber count look like on the dashboard? All right. For the people who don't know, we have a dashboard in our YouTube Creator Studio. And when you go to the front of the dashboard, it shows you how many subscribers you've had in the last 28 days. Right? Sometimes I'll see 1,000, sometimes I'll see 500. You know what I mean? But it varies depending on how hot your videos are in the moment in time. You start getting into the millions. What does the dashboard say?
Yeah, like for me, I think that one brought me to the 100K mark. I'm pretty sure that one helped me break that 100,000 barrier. But as that video went on, like that one video, I believe has made me about 60,000 subscribers just off that one video. Today, like as it stands today,
crazy.
It's gained me 60,000. Yeah, 60,000 subs.
So what's the feeling when you open up the dashboard? I don't know if you have the app on your phone too, like I do, right? You open up the dashboard and then you see the difference in the subscriber count in the last 28 days. And you still haven't given me what that number was, like, let's say 2 days after the video dropped.
See, that's the thing. I don't know I can't remember what it was. I know this month I gained another 35,000, I think. Last month though, it was even crazier. I think last month it was like 70 or 60 or 70,000 new subscribers. I used to get the feeling before, like it used to almost give me a high, but now I've kind of come more used to it. Like I've kind of like, and now I really want to hit 500,000 by the end of the summer. That's kind of my goal.
Yes.
And then with the way it's been going, I still got a couple months here, so I think I can do it. And I'll try my best.
I'm glad you mentioned that high part, because when you hit viral spikes, it is a high. You're like, you kind of get addicted to looking at the number too, no? Or did that not happen with you?
Yeah, no,
were you like doing crazy refreshes?
I used to be like that. Now I'm not so bad. Because what I've been trying to do now is not read so many of the comments, because while 98% of them are great, there may be like 2% that aren't great. And I tend to dwell on those comments. Like, it's just not good for me. Like, and it's so fucked up because there's, tens of thousands of people saying, you're the best, you're like amazing, go. And then I'm giving the people attention who are saying something negative, and I'm responding to those people when I should be just ignoring them. And at the end of the day, 100% of people are not gonna like everything you do, right? Yeah. It's just impossible. But I'm trying to stay away from the YouTube studio and like the comments and shit now these days.
It's a natural thing, man. I think it's just a human thing, where no matter how many good comments are sitting there, we're going to hone in on that one that says, nah, it was kind of mid. Oh, that was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do you mean? Now you're responding to that one person. It's like, wait a minute, did you just pass by the guy who just told you that was amazing work, immaculate editing?
Now what I've realized too is I'm like, if someone leaves a negative comment, I don't even need to be responding anymore, because my own audience will attack them for me almost. Like they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, like I don't even need to be giving much credence to this." Like it's just hard on the mental too when you're seeing shit like this, right? So I try to avoid it. I'm still trying to get used to it, right? I'm still trying to get used to all that part of it.
Yeah. I would imagine, like, I'm sure even like your DMs are started to say something different.
It is.
What about some of those American DMs, like different people who you didn't expect to see there? You're like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, there's people, like I had Aaron Solomon hit me the other day, like battle rap legend, really. He's really fucking with the content. And hearing it from Mike P is another one. Like people from the battle rap community, that's like a real, like I wear that as a badge, because these guys are constantly writing and constantly trying to outwit each other. Yeah. Like, this is what they do. So for people like those guys to appreciate the breakdowns of what I'm doing when it comes to a beef and writing and like breaking down the bars, I'm like, just so dope hearing from people like that. T- was a really big one for me. He was really bigging me up. And like, you got to look at the man's discography. Like, you know, T- is T-. You know what I mean? He's that guy. So hearing from him was amazing too. People like that, man, like academics talking with him on a first-hand basis, and like,
nice.
You know, like it is great. It's great to get that feedback from people like that.
What about anybody from any of the camps? And you know what? We don't have to say what camps we're talking about, because it's obviously the big two now.
Nah, none of the camps have hit me up. I'm confident that, well, I know for sure Drake watches the videos, because I've been told by a couple different people, and I'm pretty sure Kendrick probably has at least seen them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think people think Kendrick's like this alien who's away from the internet. I think he's a lot more tapped in than what people think.
Facts.
I think he's the beef and the subject matter he came with kind of proves that, unless someone's feeding it to him, right? But yeah, no one from the camps hit me up. Glasses Malone, he's pretty close with Kendrick, right?
Salute to Glasses.
He actually confirmed because I came with the take that yo, like Kendrick's rapping in Drake's perspective on 616 in LA.
Mhm.
And that just made the internet go crazy. And someone asked him, and he was like, I thought it was obvious. He responded back. So he kind of confirmed it. So I was like, okay, dope.
Salute to Glasses Malone. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I don't know where he finds all of these pictures of these dead owls, like these artistically dead owls, bro.
It's the internet was just crazy over this beef, bro. Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put you on the spot as the man who's constructing these breakdowns, right? I would say you're on push-ups right now, right? For at the time of this recording, you're on push-ups. No, you've done push-ups already.
Family Matters. So far, I did push-ups. I did Tailor Made.
Mm-hmm.
I did Euphoria, and I did 616, and now we're on for Family Matters.
And then after that, you're gonna break down Not
Meet
Like
the
Us.
Grams, and then Not Like Us.
Yeah, Meet the Grams.
I'm doing them in order. Doing them in order, right?
Yeah.
So when I did push-ups, people were claiming he's from Canada. He's Team OVO, clearly. Because when I did that video, I was bigging Drake up big time. Like, I love that record. He smashed that record.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to it in my car all the time. I think Push-Ups is one of the better tracks that we heard out of it. I love that track. Then Tailor Made, I was bigging him up there. Then I did Euphoria, and now they started saying, oh, he's turned on Drake, or he's turned on Kendrick. And it's like, when I'm breaking down each track, I'm doing it from the perspective of the artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily claiming that I agree with the takes. I might add a little comment here and there, but people are going to see when I do Family Matters right now, because a lot of people thought I turned on Drake or something, right? I'm just trying to break down each track as best as I can, right?
So I'm going to put you on the spot now here, finally.
Yeah.
Who do you think won the battle? Big salute to Steamin' Hot Grabba with a variety of different Grabba flavors and dispensers. They got red rose Grabba, that red herring Grabba, and peanut butter. Hit them up on their Instagram page, Steamin' Hot Grabba, and use the code WeLoveHipHop and receive a discount on your order. Again, you can find them on Instagram, Steamin' Hot Grabba. Now let's get back to the show. Cheer.
It's Kendrick. It's easy. Like, it's not debatable. It's not even, I don't know how could you debate it? Who is saying
who have debated it?
How?
Okay, so how do you come to the conclusion of Kendrick winning?
He smoked him. Like, Not Like Us, a #1 record, calling him a PDF file, like having the whole world chant it, then doing this massive West Coast performance with everyone out, like bringing it back, like celebrating his win. Celebrating his win the way he did. Like, it was... It's clear. It's clearly a Kendrick W. I don't think it's over, though. I think we're going to get around two. I cannot see it. I can't see it staying like this.
So you think that we're going to get around two? I've been having debates for the last week. I had one with my podcast host the other day. Big salute to DJ Czar and DJ Natural Wave who was tapping in with us for that week, as well as just on live yesterday, to be honest, from the time of this taping. And I was like, should Drake engage? Should he crash out and just, let's go for this again? You know, the pop songs, Camila Cabello and all that shit. I need to get back to getting at this Kendrick guy. Do you agree? Or should he fall back?
I think something's going to happen in the next year and a half, probably, where it's going to flare up again. Because I feel like when you look at what Drake was doing with Pusha ever since, like, first off, I think Drake holding back that Pusha record from that Jay Prince shit, I think that hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Drake had dropped that record, the perspective of Drake would be a lot different. I think if Drake dropped that, because I believe that Drake did have a career-ending diss. I think he had something scathing. I think he had something crazy. And I think had he dropped that record, I think it would have changed a lot for Drake. But what we saw after that was Drake, over the years, still sending these subliminal shots at Pusha. Still doing it. I mean, Pusha was asked about it. They said, do you know that Drake is sending these subs? And Pusha said, I don't care. He's like, that's not scathing to me. He said that. He's like, I already washed them. Like, I already destroyed them. Now, I think Drake will probably take the same approach against Kendrick. I think we're still going to get more subliminal shots in these records in the future. However, I feel like Kendrick won't take the same approach as Pusha. I think if Drake comes out the gate and starts subbing Kendrick again, I think Kendrick might fire again.
Like
and I think
with another nuke.
I think he'll fire again. I think Kendrick will say, "Oh, is that you didn't have enough? Okay, well, here you go." And I think the beef will flare up again like that. I think Drake will be way too prideful not to sub, not to have something to say. You could see even in his Instagram posts, they're very cryptic and he's clearly feeling a way about this. I mean, Drake is an amazing MC, an amazing rapper.
Agreed.
His Family Matters track was phenomenal. And I'll quote Joe Budden on this, like, had that record would take out 90% of MCs, probably 98% of MCs. But the problem was Kendrick had a better plan. You know, he had a better plan. And Family Matters is probably one of the top 10 diss tracks, like amazing diss track.
Yeah, I think it aged well.
I listen to it all the time because sonically it's amazing.
Yeah.
The thing that's crazy about it is the Meet the Grams thing was just so dark and like so eerie and so personal, and the timing of it just ruined the record. It overshadowed the record. And then people said, you know, well, Kendrick didn't come with like a catchy song. He you know, Meet the Grams is you listen to it one time and then he drops the banger, then he drops the bop, and it's like, okay.
In a 24-hour span too, that was the thing. Then
he drops the bop.
Yeah,
the bop.
Yeah,
like that's one of those tracks you hear one time and you know.
Yeah, and they're not done with it yet neither, because at the time of this taping, I'll say, because I'll probably drop this as a clip, but the whole thing will be dropping in a couple of weeks from now. But the video for Not Like Us will probably be out by that point. I'ma do my stuff. And then now we have to see, and you're gonna have to revisit what the impact of that's gonna be. Actually, you know what?
I think there's going to be an incredible amount of symbolism in the video, because I do. He's going to double down. He's going to, like, there's going to be a lot. This video it's going to be interesting to see who's in the video, first of all.
Yeah.
And then second of all, what type of symbolism, imagery he's going to have in there to mock Drake or antagonize him.
Well, so far they've already showed a picture of him, his fiance and 2 kids.
And the truth of the matter, he was God's plan to show y'all the liar.
And that's a still from the video shoot, right? Or from the video itself.
I don't think that proves anything, though. Like, I don't think that proves that they're together, and I don't think it proves that one of those kids might not be his. In fact, that's one of the things, I don't want to say too much, but like, when Drake came out the gate with that being his slam dunk, like the big day free, he's like,
yeah,
I think Drake probably knows something. I think that might actually be a possibility, that, like, he seemed very confident in saying that.
It's a wild allegation.
It's a wild allegation, but he seems even from the push-ups track, Who Kid, like the drop, drop that he used, the Who Kid drop, like he was alluding to it there, and he was warning Kendrick. I have this information. I know this, right? Like, he was letting him know, this ain't even everything I know. Don't wake the demon up. Then he does Tailor Made because he feels so confident about push-ups, because he's letting Kendrick know, I have this info. On Tailor Made, he's saying, I know you're pacing around in your apartment, like, what am I going to do? And then you know how he's saying, there is no record on Instagram. Use this as there is no record. And then he's posting his manager saying, Ant saying, are we dropping or no?
Yeah.
Because he had already let Kendrick know, I have this bomb on you. I have this bomb on you. If you do drop, I'm gonna announce this, right? So I feel like Drake thought this was he put a lot of credence into that info. So I feel like there may be some truth to it.
Now, you know, staying on that, right? do you think he kind of misplayed his hand by not anticipating the PDF file allegations? Because he did say something on Taylor Made Freestyle.
He did anticipate it, but like, it's just, we knew that angle was coming. Like we knew.
He knew. He said it on the Taylor Made Freestyle.
He knew. I don't think there was any way to get away from it because there's just these weird incidents with Drake, and I'm never going to sit here and call Drake a straight up PDF. I don't.
There's no substantiated proof.
That's the thing, right? Like, there's no, and that's the thing when I'm doing these videos, I'm just showing compelling things, but there's no solidified proof of any of this, right? And people got to keep that in mind. Like, but when I hear Kendrick come on a record like Not Like Us with the bold claim, straight up, you are a PDF file, straight up. Yeah. He knew that record. He knew that record was out of here. He knew that was out of here.
He's a certified one.
Yeah, certified. He knew that, and he knew that record was out of here. Yeah. He knew where that was going. Anyone with a set of ears would tell you that's out of here. For him to do that and say, I got 5 more in stock, what else was he going to bring to the table? Because if you're going to come out with a claim like that, you better have something to back it up. You better have something. You can't, like, and that's where when we get into shit like this, I could see where it leaves music. You know what I mean? It's no, like, this is what you don't call a man that ever. That is one of the worst things to ever call anyone. Mm-hmm. It is. And he did it. So I just hope it doesn't go too far. Like, you know, I hope these guys can stay safe.
What are we talking about here, Matt? Like, you're in the West Coast. You're in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or like in BC?
I'm in BC.
So, in Vancouver, recently, Ross got the beats. And I'm not talking about the one from Drake.
Nah. Well, listen, like, BC, Vancouver, there's HA everywhere. They run shit. Mm-hmm. They are here. So if you're gonna come and disrespect, like, that was stupid for Ross to do that. I don't know what the f- he thought. I don't know what he thought was gonna happen. I don't know what he expected to happen. But this is Canada, and this is where Drake is from, and people are riding for Drake. I don't think Drake was like, go, and I spoke with Mercules about this, actually.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really, I actually just hit him up and I was like, yo, like, congratulations, you're part of the Tinfoil Hat Club. I've been seeing conspiracies about you on Twitter.
He's on one of my thumbnails right now.
He was laughing and he was like, show me. And I showed him a few examples. He was like, man, people are crazy, bro. And I sent him, yo, my man put up his hood real quick and dipped. He was like, because you know how he puts his, he goes like this and he just bounces.
He turned into a ninja.
Yeah. We didn't get into any particulars. Like, I didn't ask him about, you know, what went on there.
Yeah.
But from what I'll say is, I think these are just people who felt disrespected because Ross is coming in, he's doing this on our soil, and we're not going to tolerate that shit. It's just how it is. Like, do you think we're going to have a dance party? Do you think what do you think's going to happen?
He thought the crowd was going to start crip walking.
I don't think Drake was like, make sure to be there. Like, no, there's HA at these concerts. They're fucking everywhere. There's representation everywhere. So if they're around and you're being disrespectful, you're going to get handled. Like,
but disrespectful to who? To Drake? Or to Canada?
I think it works in two ways. Like, I think they respect Drake, but it's also disrespectful to us because the record is very much directed almost at us. You know, like in the beef, the angle that Kendrick took was directed at us in a lot of ways. You're outsiders. You're not part of this. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So he wasn't like, I don't feel like he was just talking to Drake when he was saying shit like that.
He's talking to, like, being a Canadian, you are not like us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you're not like us, the West Coast. Like we're the real deal, you know. So I think I can understand how um a gang in Canada would feel a way about it.
Now, with this being something that's gone to at least a small spat with the Rick Ross thing,
That seemed like a small spat, right?
well, let's call it that for now.
Yeah.
Do you think that hip hop, and including this beef right here, or this rap beef, any rap beefs can stay on wax, or do all rap beefs end up becoming some kind of scuffle?
Dude, it would be a very interesting video to do, actually. That would be a really
Go
good.
ahead, man.
Yeah, like that would be a really interesting video to do because a lot of them don't stay on wax because at the end of the day, what often wins a lot of rap battles? Well, the shock value shit, like the personal information that they've dug out. I f- your wife, we got Nas, like, like there's so like dropping these bombs. And when you're dropping these bombs, you're getting personal. So like, that would be an interesting video to do, like cover all these iconic beefs and be like, look, history would tell you that this barely ever stays on wax.
Yeah, well, with the exception of Jay and Nas, they're the only ones that stayed on wax. And there's other ones that stayed on wax, but there was so much tension in the background that it could have went there, like Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It could have went there if crews bucked up in front with each other. Do you think if Kendrick and Drake's
rappers? Oh, I'm confident that Kendrick and Drake's crews are gonna end up clashing at some point. Like he didn't call Drake a certified P. He called OVO.
Yeah,
he called you're all, and then he's got the picture of Drake's like embassy with all the tags. Like yeah, that's saying that you're not just shooting at Drake here. That is a bigger problem. And when I heard that and saw that, I was like, Kendrick clearly don't give a he's jumping out the gate right now. Like
gloves off.
Gloves are off. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So I agree with you there. Like I think it's an inevitable crash out if their crews were ever to be in the same room at the same time. I think all the powers that be are gonna, because they're such big artists, are gonna do their best to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, they'd have to.
But when it comes to rap beefs, I guess you would call them, or rap battles turn to rap beefs.
Yep.
It's inevitable, man. There's no way of getting around it.
It is.
Even surrounding it, right? And I'm asking you these questions because you are literally doing so much homework to make your videos that I'm sure while you're doing the research, you have opinions, right?
I do. Well, that's what makes my channel different is I'm not just compiling the information. I'm giving a new perspective often on it, right? Coming up with new things. Like that's what makes it different. So of course, like I've when I heard that record right away, it made me think, like, this might, and then, people clown Drake so much. And I was saying to my little brother the other day, if anything happened to Drake tomorrow, the whole world will be mourning it. The whole world would mourn it. They would be calling him a GOAT. They would be calling him a legend because guess what? No more Drake music.
Yeah.
No more Drake music. Just think about that. Think about that.
Yeah. No matter how much music you have already.
No matter how much music you got already. And guess what? All of his catalog will be praised. Everything he ever did will be praised. Because Drake he's a GOAT.
Yeah.
He's a GOAT. And like I said, if anything happened to that man tomorrow, the whole world would mourn him for a very long time.
Well, listen, man, let's hope nothing ever happens to the boy.
No,
man.
I know.
Let me ask you one thing with that, right? Do you plan on making any videos on the Weeknd or let's say the OVO XO beef? Because I'm sure there's been videos before, but it's evolved over time now. So I'm sure a new video can be made.
Yeah, a new video could definitely be made. Like I believe there's been a couple already surface. I'll have to look. Because what I always try to do is if like I like to try to do new videos that other people haven't done. And if the first thing I'll do is take to Google or YouTube and see if anyone else did it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did it and they did a good job, I'll leave it. Like I won't touch it, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on if I think it's worth rehashing, right?
Is there something there?
Yeah, well, there's obviously something there.
Like,
I mean, there's there's like I said too. I'm trying my best to keep it to the music, like breaking down bars and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
But eventually, I mean, I'm gonna run out of songs to break down. So
I don't know if they're talking about. They're not sending lyrics at each other anymore over there between the XO and the OVOs, man.
Yeah, exactly. What I was thinking about doing, I don't know if I'll do this as like a live stream thing or like I was thinking about doing something for Canadian artists. I wanted to get like an artist like Mercules or whoever to write and record one verse for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be as intricate as you want with it, like and then I got to try to break it down. And then they got to tell me if I was right or wrong, like just to test myself, right?
Yeah.
Or they could be like, yeah, you got this right, or no, you're cold as ice here. This is not what I meant. Like, and then have them come on. So I was thinking about doing like a little show like that eventually, like where it's very unique.
Yeah.
It's very unique, right?
It's like real-time breakdowns.
Real-time breakdowens, yeah.
Yeah. We might have to blank that out of the interview, because that's a good name right there.
yeah. Well, that's what my little brother told me. He's like, don't tell anyone. He's like, I know what you're like. Someone will steal your idea. Like,
listen, man, ain't nobody watch us. So let me ask you, the video that you dropped, it wasn't the Euphoria one. Actually, it was the Euphoria breakdown. Started going crazy. Because your traction's already there now, okay? But you hit a snag. You got the yellow dollar sign, the dreaded yellow dollar sign.
Yeah. Brutal.
Now, I seen your live. I chimed in a few times. I was like, you gotta stop swearing, man.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the swearing, though.
What was it, man?
I've been trying to tone down the swearing, though, because I'm like a drunken sailor here. I'm like, swearing all the time.
Don't worry about it with us over here, because I'm pre-recording. So I take them out. But when you're, but you don't take them out of your videos, right?
No. It was like, I finally got in touch with YouTube,
mm-hmm.
and they told me there's a part in the video, a clip that I use of Drake using the N-word with a hard ER.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever heard that clip. It's when he's really young.
Yes.
On that ninja, and he says it with a hard ER.
That's my nigga.
Yeah.
With a hard ER.
Yeah, with a hard ER. So it's kind of ironic that Drake saying the N-word would get my video demonetized, but that's what they told me what it was. And that's a unique thing with YouTube now. They actually got this new thing in place where they will tell you what it was. Now, they'll tell you what it was, but here's the thing. Yeah, it's brand new. This is something that came out just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
They'll tell you why. They'll tell you what it was. Like, you can fill out the form, and they'll tell you, this is the part right here that we didn't like. And then, because as soon as they told me that, I was like, okay, I'll remove it. Like, I've already removed it. Please reinstate. They said, no, like, this is just for your own learning, right?
Yeah.
Now, they did say that eventually they might get to the point where they'll change it to the point where they'll give you the piece and you can cut it out, and then they'll reinstate the video.
Yeah.
But, it was too bad for me because that video took over a month to make.
Jesus.
But my people really showed out for me on that because I told them the situation. They donated, and I got donated way more than I would have ever expected. And it made me really realize just how many people really f with the channel. See, there we go again. They really rock with the channel.
Listen, man, I seen it in real time, and I already knew, right, from just the audience that we have here and how receptive they are. And I want to thank you also in person, like publicly, for that donation that you hit me with the other day. You know what I mean?
Of course. It
always helps towards the movement. But I knew that on the level that we're at, that if you reach out to the audience and you do lives and stuff like that, they show love. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just learning this now. Like, what I've been trying to do is I'll go live. I'll make a video. It might take me a month to do. I'll drop it. I'll let it sit for a day or two, get, some noise up, and then I'll do a live to talk about it, right? And answer questions. And this kind of the route I'm going to go with it for now, because I'm just new at doing lives. I was my first couple of times I was doing it from my phone because I had no idea what I was doing. But now I've got it all set up so I can use the camera and all that shit. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah. You got to get interactive with the audience. You know what I mean?
100%, man. Yeah, no, it's important. Like, it's definitely important to get that connection with them. And I think I've done that too really well on the channel, just by first off giving my own takes, like, and showing a bit of my personality and being vulnerable, like talking about my mental health and shit like that, like my pitfalls, like that. I feel like helps humanize me a bit. Instead of just being this character on the screen. I'll bring up stories like that I have with friends and shit, talk about my family. That helps, I think, just build a connection, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you about Kanye. What's going on with that, man? I heard that Kanye, he hit you with a copyright. Big salute to this episode's sponsor, Gas Packs. Gas Packs has handpicked their cannabis to make sure it is the top quality for our smokers. We have a lot of growers to make sure that we get all of the best cannabis Canada has to offer. Make sure to hit them up on their Instagram page, Gas Packs Original. And when purchasing, make sure that you have the barcode on the back to scan to make sure that it's real. Once again, hit them up on their Instagram page, Gas Packs Original, and you can use the code WeLoveHipHop to get a discount on anything on the menu. They have delivery all over the GTA and some of the finest loud. Once again, hit them up on their Instagram page, Gas Packs Original. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Kanye. It was his distribution company that he had hired for the Vultures album.
Okay.
I did a full breakdown of every track on the album where he was sending shots or saying something crazy, right?
Also found this interesting tweet from Papa John's where they posted, "Buy her pizza or Pete Davidson will." Papa John. F you, Papa John's.
The video was out for 2 days. It had like, I don't know, or a day. It was out for a day. It had a lot of good traction. It was on pace to be my best video, right? And then all of a sudden, I started track 1 in the breakdown. I'm working my way through the tracks.
Right.
So I start seeing track 1 gets hit. I get an email. Then I'm seeing the next track gets hit, like in order. So they're going through my video manually and hitting every single one of them.
Wow.
And I hit them and I'm like, this is bullshit, guys. Like, I know what I'm doing is fair use. I know I'm only using like a couple seconds and then going into a full on breakdown of it. Like, and then finally what they did to me was even more dirty, was they restricted it in the US, like my biggest audience, right?
Yeah.
My biggest audience is America. It goes America, UK, then Canada, believe it or not. Then South Africa.
Wow.
South Africa is big time into it. So then once they did that, they restricted in America, the video died. Like, that was it. Done. Then after my email, they're like, we reinstated it. And I'm like, yeah, it's too late now. You guys destroyed the video. Because it never got picked back up after that, right? So it kind of died at like 60,000 views or something like that.
Wow. And you know what? They don't even realize that they're killing their own promotion. That's helping to promote their shit.
They are. Like, I've seen, like, a lot of reaction channels and shit like that but like a lot of times those types of copyright strikes are warranted because you're playing a full verse or something. Like, you're playing a full verse and you might just they'll sit there like this and they'll
Yeah.
like, it's like, no, this is not what they mean by fair use. You're playing a full entire verse in its entirety. You're taking away from the original content. But for me, it's just one line.
Yeah. Salute to Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
Yeah. No. So much shit's different, man. But I know what I'm doing is fair use. I know every time. I've never lost yet. I've never lost on the copyright front ever. Whether it be UMG or whoever. I was trying to get whitelisted by him or whatever it's called.
Right.
I don't know what that would take, but I've done a lot of content on UMG artists, so I don't know. Like,
you maybe need to get in contact with somebody over there at the office.
Yeah, because I don't see how they could say my content's not advantageous for them.
Yeah, I not just yours, and not the guys that we're talking about. You know, once again, salute to you, Jason Derulo. We're talking about like people who give breakdowns, and we go watch those videos, and then in turn, if we never heard the song, and not just breakdowns of like the song lyric by lyric, just talking about the artist, period, like what a Hello Yassine might do, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you agree that this helps the industry to
100%.
get more streams?
100%. And Hello Yassine's really good at it too. He's definitely dope at his commentary. Yeah, dope channel.
Yeah. Tell me, you know, in just the last few questions I have for you here, tell me about getting the family involved now. You got your little bro, you know what I'm saying? You got
my girlfriend.
Your girl or fiance, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying?
My girl, yeah. No, it's gotta come. The ring's gotta come soon though. Like, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I seen the setup. She got a nice setup there too, man.
She got a nice setup. Yeah, my little brother is a major hip hop head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Been listening to hip hop since he was in diapers. I was his older brother, so you know, like I'm 8 years older than him. And he was an electrician by trade, not really fulfilled with it. And I asked him to come on board because I knew I had to hire someone. Well, I didn't just want to hire, like, there's a difference in hiring some random person from Fiverr to help,
mm-hmm.
and then hiring someone who you know who's also hip hop help.
Yeah,
because he knows the culture. He gets it, right?
Yeah.
So I got him the MacBook. I got him a desk, speakers, like the whole setup.
Nice.
And he's been amazing help. And then, like I said, my girl just quit her job of 11 years.
Wow.
She's been, welcome to, hello, Dr. Wong's office. Hello, Dr. Wong's office. Hello, like terrible, mundane job she had where she was unfulfilled. And now we got that set up for her. So between those two people, I'm trying to make the content faster.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And my little brother's hyped. My parents are hyped that we're both working together, you know, is dope. Is definitely dope.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's amazing. I never expected it would ever get to here, right? Like when I first started the channel, I thought that I'd still be working in my old field. Like I thought, oh, maybe one day I'll get monetized and I can buy my copies for the month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Shit don't change. Like it went to a place I didn't expect.
It's like having a hit record for an artist, right? You get that hit record and things change quick, man.
That's what they say about those. Like all you need is one.
Yeah.
All you need is one, and that's what I tell people on YouTube. Say if you keep doing it and you keep trying new things, you're gonna catch one.
Mm-hmm.
When you catch one, that's when it'll change. One video could change your whole life. Really, could change your life.
That's big facts, man.
One interview could change your life. One, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One moment. But people are afraid to put themselves out there. But the way that I've approached the content on the channel was like, to me, there's a big difference in views and impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're two different things. Like a video could have 5 million views and have zero impact. Or a video could have 50,000 views, 50,000, and it sparks debate and people talk about it. And it's a conversation piece. That's always where I try to go with the content. I'm trying to make something that people will talk about, that the culture talks about.
Yeah.
And that to me is way more valuable than just views.
Yeah.
But in order to get impact, you got to bring new information,
mm-hmm.
and you got to not be afraid to come out the gate with something wild, a wild take, or, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do.
And your timing, at first, I was kind of worried, I'll say, when all of these songs were just dropping like bombs in the sky, right? I was like, Matt, where you at, man? We need the breakdowns. Yeah. And I'm sure the audience was doing the same thing, right?
Big time.
But I think everything is kind of lining up in fine timing because with the whole Not Like Us video being around the corner, the pop out show, when you finally now get to the Not Like Us video, you have all of the information
Exactly.
to be able to make a perfect video, a complete video.
Yes. Yeah, there's that part of it. And like, I also always thought about it like this. Like, I obviously let the fans or the audience get in my head quite a bit when it comes to, you drop the ball, you're way too slow, unsubscribing. Like, this guy fumbled the bag.
That?
Oh yeah, lots. Fumbled the bag. Like, you like, what are you doing? All the other breakdowns are out. And then I felt the need to remind people, like, my breakdowns are always different. But then eventually I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let the art speak for itself. But then I also know, being an actual hip hop fan, that the beef that we just witnessed is iconic. Iconic. Like, you know, I've covered Mobb Deep versus Tupac on the channel. Did really well. Really old beef. I've done Hov versus Mace. Did really well. So I already know that people are invested in beefs in general. These are old beefs I'm covering from decades ago, right?
Versus Mace.
So I'm like, yeah, like just a real niche, like, you know, something small, but like people ate that up. So I'm thinking, this beef is not going anywhere. If I drop a video, even a year from now, breaking down one of these records and I do a good job, it's gonna get movement. It's gonna get traction.
Yeah.
So like, people are gonna in 10, 15 years from now, there's gonna be a guy just like me sitting in his chair who's doing a documentary on this beef, just like they do with Pac and Biggie or Hov and Nas, like or Ja Rule and 50.
Yeah,
this beef is up there with those beefs. It is.
Would you say that this would be the greatest hip hop beef of all time? Up
there. It's up there, man. You can't say it's not. Like, look at all the music we got. Look how fast it came. Look at, like, it was, we've never seen anything like it. Then you got Kendrick on stage performing his hit record 6-7 times. Like, we know that Pac did hit him up at the House of Blues, but like, this guy ran it back. He's dancing. He's mocking him. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy what he did. It's crazy.
Hold on. You said he's mocking him. Big salute to Dusty Wallace, right? That's another one of my co-hosts as well, right? And was it him? He said that he was doing the Hotline Bling dance.
Yeah.
You caught
That's
that
what
too.
I thought that too.
He's going to jump into the roof, bro. You are the breakdown god right now, fam.
Yeah.
So if you guys both think the same thing, and I was when he pointed it out in the video, I was like,
it's also interesting when you look at little things that he does during the live show. Like, you know how I said on 616 that he's rapping from Drake's perspective for like the first 8 bars. And if you notice on stage for the first 8 bars when he performs that record, he's leaning on Ab-Soul like this.
Yeah.
And then as soon as those 8 bars are over, where he's rapping as Drake, he lets Ab-Soul go. And then he starts doing his own part, right? So little stuff like that, man. Like, that's where I know, like, I was onto something, right?
Yeah, bro. That actually, to me, right there, right now, brought that to full circle.
Yeah.
That your video, and now really thinking about Ab-Soul there on the stage. I'm like, why are you rapping this to Ab-Soul? What's the purpose of this? Why isn't Ab-Soul doing a verse?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was, I think he was trying to disconnect himself from what he was rapping, because he was rapping as Drake. But then he, like I said, it's very short because it's just that 8 bars, and then he breaks away from it.
Yo, man, low key, this motherfucker's doing that shit for you, bro.
Maybe.
Or if not you, guys like you. So that when, because these guys are not doing a bunch of interviews so that they can explain this later. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is for the internet. And it's not specifically you, what's the dirt. for guys who are doing videos to be like, did you see that?
Yeah,
low-key,
exactly.
I'm gonna have to cut this out the video too, because these video essay guys are gonna be like, oh, I thought of that, and see, that's what I've been thinking the whole time. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah. No, I didn't point that out actually in my video because I just noticed it the other day. So that take is not even out there, but I just thought it was more proof of what I was talking about. It is crazy though. Like the thing, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Dude, when you just brought up that, and I thought about your video and then the A.W.O.L thing, I just had the brain blow emoji happen to me. Shit.
I know. It's little things like that, man, where I feel like, he's alluding to something, right?
Yeah,
he's alluding to something.
In closing here, right? Because we're at like an hour right now. We were podding over
cool,
here.
Man.
Today.
I'm ready to rock.
Where do you think this essay space is going?
I think it's watered down. I think it's watered down, bro. I feel like every man and his dog are doing video essays now, right?
Yeah.
And there's a few key people who are doing them really well. I don't even know if I'm doing essays really at this point.
You're doing more like lyrical breakdowns.
I'm doing lyrical breakdowns, and that's kind of where I found my own niche. And doing them in this style has never really been done on YouTube before.
Yeah,
the way that I'm putting them together, right? I'm not saying that it hasn't been done at all, but in the way that I'm doing them with this level of detail is like kind of where I'm trying to focus now. But like I said before, there's not always going to be beefs to break down, so I'm going to have to maybe dip my toe back into the video essay shit. Mm-hmm. But I think it's getting watered down. But I think if I think the right videos from the right people will always get some shine, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
So besides like the video, so what do you think people are gonna start creating next? Or are you thinking of what you're gonna start creating? Like besides always doing breakdowns, I feel like there's always gonna be a lane for a breakdown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's always gonna be a lane for a breakdown because people love things being explained, and people just love that style of content, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think anywhere where you're getting new information, I don't think is ever gonna falter. Yeah. I just think a lot of people are doing video essays now, and it's just kind of getting watered down because there's like I don't know how many videos I've seen on Suge Knight at this point. Like I don't know how. People always ask me to cover Tupac and Biggie, and I'm like, why? Like, it's been done. Like
to be able to cover that, man.
What's that?
You'd have to find a whole new angle to be able to cover
like
that.
How? Like, it's been done 100 million times by like big companies. Like, I'm talking like documentaries being done on this shit. Mm-hmm. Like I get Hov and Nas a lot. Again, that's been done 1 million times. 50 and Ja Rule, that's been done 1 million times. So just trying to find new shit that hasn't been done and be in the moment more with it, right?
Yeah.
Be in the moment.
I think that idea that we spoke about earlier, putting all of that together into one video, that might be your video that ends up being the 2 to 3 hour type video.
That's what I'm doing. At the end, I plan on, once I get done all the breakdowns, mm-hmm. I'm planning on giving my whole entire perspective on the beef. And then one of the things I want to do too is like, let's just look at it from a lens where anything that we can't validate, we cancel out. Like, right. Let's just say, because we can't boldly claim that Drake's a PDF. We can't claim that Kendrick doesn't have, Dave Free is the child. Like all this shock value shit that we can't prove. If we wipe all that out, the beef is a lot closer than what people think.
Yeah.
In terms of what's being said and the bars and like stuff like that. So mm-hmm. I've always thought about doing something more close, like something close to that, and speaking on the beef in a way that people haven't yet.
Yeah.
Because you could come out the gate and say these things, but if there's no proof, then I guess the people don't need proof. I guess that's why you
No,
know.
you can say on the interviews. Don't worry, bro.
Yeah, I just don't want to give you too much editing. I don't want to give you too much.
Bro, I
too much
interview
to edit
gangster
out.
rappers, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is very true. Yeah, true that, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I'm definitely gonna do a big video at the end.
That's gonna
At the
be
end
an
here.
undertaking and a half, man. Like, for example, the writing for the scripts of one of these videos that you make right now, it probably taking
Huge.
longer than they used to. Like, what's the
Huge.
just for the writing of the script itself? How much time is that taking?
I wish I could show you I could probably show you my script right now, right?
Because I've done a multitude of them as myself. The reason one I don't do as many videos, documentary videos anymore, because they're freaking hard, bro. It takes a long time to write all that shit, man.
So my page, the Euphoria breakdown has 9,416 words.
Jesus Christ.
So it's huge. It's huge.
Oh my
huge
gosh.
script. That's why I wanted to show you and scroll down to show you like just how long it is.
Pages and pages and pages and bro.
Pages.
That's like literally like a Hollywood script.
Basically, like, I mean, and it's got like all these like reference this, use these lyrics, say this. Like it's very, very. I've gotten a lot more organized with it since we last spoke.
What's your thoughts on AI? Because I'm there's a lot of video essay guys that are using AI, or at least using partially AI in some of their videos, and then some people are just all out. Just I can hear it in some of these
100% AI. Yeah. I mean, I haven't used it yet as a tool, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I won't ever use it if it's like, you know, if it gets to the point where it's good enough to use. But I still feel at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to. I don't think it's gonna be able to get to the point where it can do what a real human can do. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's definitely one of those things that's coming that you either reject it or you embrace it because it's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's say by the end of 2025, 2020, early 2026. If you're not using some kind of AI while making your videos, you're gonna look like the DJ who's still bringing crates instead of using Serato.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, exactly. You're still digging in the crates.
Yeah.
Bringing crates to the show, unloading your van.
Yeah, writing for weeks at a time instead of doing it in 3-4 days.
Yeah, like for me, I've used it like Chat GPT. If I'll write something, and then I'm like, how can I make this maybe sound a bit better? Like, because I'm like, oh man, I can't word this properly. And I'll put it in there, and then it'll spit out like a better version of it, right? But a lot of times it'll use like really big words and shit, and I'm like, most times I end up going with what I wrote.
Yeah.
But sometimes it could help me reword it myself, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely impressive.
Well, you know, right now you're not using it as steroids. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
It's not creating your thought.
No.
Doing your research for you.
It wouldn't be able to do it. It wouldn't be like it would be crazy if it was that detailed where it'd be like, is Kendrick rapping from Drake's perspective on 616? And if it came back was like, for the first 8 bars, this is clearly from Drake. I was like, okay, this is out of here.
If AI gets to that point, even at this point right now, I'm gonna be scared, man. The robots are coming, bro.
Yeah, the robots are coming. They're gonna take over for sure.
Oh man. Well, listen, Matt, I want to know, in closing here, you got the videos that are lined up. Okay, so like I said, at the time of this recording, we're going to be waiting for Family Matters. We're going to be waiting for Meet the Grams. And then last but not least, You're Not Like Us.
Yeah,
what's
and don't
next
forget,
after that?
Don't forget, man, we got Drake. We got the Heart Part 6. That got to be in there too.
Yeah.
That got to be in there too, because guess what? He came with a crazy, crazy flip.
Hold on.
A crazy flip.
I need your thoughts on that. Heart Part 6, please.
I felt like people said he was really bowing out. I don't know if I really took it like that entirely. I just felt like what he was saying was, look, everything I said was facts. You came with a bunch of bullshit. You came with a fake narrative. Then he flipped it and said, like, the flip on it was crazy. Like, oh, maybe it was because you got touched as a child. Like, that flip was nuts, right? And then he's just basically, I felt like he was saying, like, come back when you got real facts. Like, you know, come back when you got something. I came with real stuff. You know, you're feeding into what's already been on the internet. And the thing I'm also, after I do all this, I'm doing Joe Budden's diss tracks to Drake because everyone's been asking for that.
Oh, you mean the 50 diss song that he did?
the four that he did. Yeah, I'm going to be breaking those down because it's never been done. And the reason why I'm breaking it down was, first off, people are asking me to do it. But I'm also going to correlate it to the stuff that Kendrick used because 95% of what Kendrick used in his was stuff that was already hatched by Joe. Joe touched on this a long time ago. He touched on just about everything that was said in the beef. He had already mentioned himself. So,
so do you agree? You agree with him when he says he passed the baton to Push, who passed the baton
100%.
to Kendrick, to finish the job?
I do agree. And when I spoke with Joe, because I asked him,
hold on.
I spoke with him and asked him.
When you, I didn't expect that one to
yeah.
Keep going, man.
I spoke to him before he said he passed the baton. Because I asked him, can I do these, like, do I have your permission to break these down? He said he would love for me to break them down. He said, I love the content and I would love for you to break, because at the end of the day, Joe is an MC. He's a lyricist, right? And he didn't really get, like, in this new era of what we're doing on the internet with music and breaking down bars and, like, showcasing what an MC means and what they could do. Joe's got a full catalog of music that is great for that he just never had that.
Yeah.
So I feel like I understand why he's down. Like I said to him, I said, Joe, you're still an MC at heart. I was like, I guarantee you're rapping in the fucking shower and you're like, you know, you're like on your way to work, you're freestyling, and he's like just laughing, right?
Yeah, I get at Joe Budden sometimes here on these podcast mics, but low key it's because I've been a supporter of him, like with the Mood Music series and the Love Lost series.
Of course, man.
I've been able to find out everything about his life pre-podcast from listening to his music. You know what I'm saying?
He was one of he's one of few rappers at that time who was being that introspective and personal about what was going on in their life. Like, you could pretty much, he was putting it all out there, you know? And when it comes to those Drake disses, he was like, I'd love for you to break them down. Yeah, I'd absolutely love that.
Wow. That's an exclusive right there. You got the
got
go ahead from the man, the Podfather himself.
Yep, the Podfather himself.
That's
who's someone
crazy.
like you know, like I said earlier, like I listen to his music, mood music, all that shit. Like I listened to his mixtapes. Like although a lot of his music was some of the worst mixed music I've heard in my life, but
yeah,
it's terribly mixed.
Yeah, but a lot of gold on there, and the albums that were mixed well, like the No Love Lost and Some
Great
Love
music.
Lost and Another Love Lost.
Another Love Lost, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I used to have those shits on repeat. You know what I'm saying?
Me too, man.
So
and that's what a lot of people don't realize about Drake too, is Drake, if you listen to a lot of his early stuff, there's clear influence from Joe. Like a lot. There's clear influence from Joe.
Yeah.
In his earlier stuff. Like there was a brief moment of Drake where he was it was very Joe Budden-esque.
Yeah, you got to find out about all his girlfriends and ex-girlfriends through his music. Like just throwing these random names in there and you're like, who the hell are these people?
Yeah. What's her name? Hooters on P Street. Like you're
just giving us little glimpses into these random people's lives.
The part to complete me. Yeah. Rochelle Jordan. Fake bitches, they just talked me out of $4,000.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you actually go and do deep dives like how you do, if you were to deep dive into one of like Drake's girl songs or something, you're probably gonna find the women who are like, hey, I'm kind of mad at that, and I'm kind of mad at the relationship the way it went.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like I realized when I'm every time I was trying to look for subliminal shots and shit too,
Mm-hmm.
I was always looking for the rap stuff, right? But now I'm realizing, wait a minute, The Weeknd is dissing Drake like over like singing, like, you know, and then
Yeah.
Drake is dissing him back over these singing records. So like we can't count those out too. Those need to be looked at. We need to look at what they're saying on these tracks because it's not just the rap shit. They're dissing over like what would Pluto do? Apparently was that whole thing was apparently a shot at Future.
Yeah. But with
which I haven't dove into, but I could see it because he goes, "What would my dog do?" He found out his dog was messing with this girl, so I hit it. Like it's like, and then we see the Tokyo, Japan thing, and like,
yeah,
it seems.
But I think
which was something that I also dug up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The Tokyo girl and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you were one. Actually, I think you were the first one who dug that up.
I was. I broke that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you definitely, as we have this conversation here, have to do some kind of under a microscope OVO versus XO or Weeknd versus Drake, because there's a lot in there. I'm telling you, Matt, like there's an hour video in there with the unfollows from Nav, everything that's going on. Like there's a lot of stuff that when you start doing your research, if you start doing it, you might be like, ooh, I want to back away from the tunnel from this one. This kind of, I don't know if I want to put this information on video. Have you had that before?
Lots of times, like where I'm like, no, I'm not going this way with it. Because I always look at like what the ramifications could be. Like, you know, I'm just a white dude in this room making videos, but I also got to keep in mind that I'm talking about human beings here.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So that's why I've always tried to keep it to the music. But now that you mention that, bro, like going through all of the Weeknd's catalog as of late and just really looking to see what parts were at Drake, because I guarantee there's some shit in there about Drake.
You don't have to go as late. You can go from before as well, and with Drake from before.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like right from after Take Care.
Yes.
As soon as like
the time they pieced it up, and then the time that they broke off again. There's something there, bro. There's a whole video to be made there, because why are you guys, one, not friends anymore? And then two, you pieced it up and then you're not friends anymore. What happened there? Two times that you guys had to the point where we're at now. These guys, I don't know if they follow each other, but like they're definitely team members that are like, we don't like you.
No, they don't like each other. There's definitely something that happened. I mean, Drake killed those guys in those tracks too.
Yes.
Like the push-ups, he is just stunting on them. Like, your man used to be Chubb's blunt roller. Like, what the
come on, bro.
He used to be Chubb's blunt roller.
These guys don't like each other, man. And to me,
they don't like each other. That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean,
this might be the title of this video. I might have to cut a piece of this out because, bro, I need to see your. Actually, you know what? F that. Keep it in, because I don't care if 200 people do a breakdown on that. I need to see your breakdown on why these guys have beef, because again, you're going to be looking under all of the stones, and then you're going to see something and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to mention that on camera. Let me put that right back.
I'm doing it. Now that you've said this, bro, I'm sold. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Because it needs to. It's crazy. He's a punked up sissy from the north side. Like,
yeah, man. These are not just like lyricals. Like, oh yeah, my music's better than yours. I have a higher chart position. No, these are like shots where it's like, if we see each other in person, we're crashing out.
And well, as far as I know, I don't know how many people they've got XO people in like Ontario right now, or in the six, because I know a lot of them. Like Drake said, you boys got rich and had to run from it. Like, you guys are all gone. You're out the way. You're in LA. All you guys, right?
Yeah.
But Drake, there's no one that holds down there's no one that holds down Toronto the way that Drake does, or has done as much for Toronto as Drake has done. You know what I mean? He's the sixth god at the end of the day. But I got to do it, man. You're right.
That's the next video idea in the bolt right
That's
there,
the next
man.
one, man. There's a lot that I'm going to do, man. There's a lot that I'm going to do. I'll be happy after this beef is done. And then I could, focus on newer shit, different stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking
Breaking
forward
new
to
stories.
it, man. And I'm looking forward to the videos as they come out for the rest of the songs from this beef, man. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
going to love Family Matters. You're going to love Family Matters. What I'm going to do to mess with the fans, because I got like a Kendrick Mr. Morale shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to sit down and be like, all right, guys, got my shirt on. Like, it's going to be the Kendrick one, Family Matters. Like, oh, shit. Wait, sorry, guys. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm going to go. And then I'm going to have like the freaking OVO jacket on with the hat and be like, you don't think I'm a Drake fan? Let's go. Come on. like I'm here.
You're going to have them comments going crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm like, because, man, a lot of times, like I even said to my brother, I'm like, man, I feel kind of shitty because I'm such a big Drake fan. And because I'm bringing this information up, he probably hates my guts. Like, he probably hates me, right? And I'm like, I feel bad about it because I'm just a big Drake fan.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure when I put out push-ups and Tailor Made, he was loving it. He was loving it, right? But then I put out these Euphoria and 616 and did, like, I'm not painting them to be the best. So I was like, kind of sucks in that way.
Yeah, especially when you've reached a certain amount of views that is guaranteed that if he didn't see it right away, somebody sent him the video. Yeah,
100%. There's just no way.
Yeah.
There's no way he didn't. Because it has impact, right? Because people are talking about it, like Joe Budden and like academics and, and then Twitter's going crazy still right now over 616. Like, they're still talking about it, right? Yeah. So it's of course, I think eventually it gets to them. I would think.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about.
Well, listen, man, you're good over here in the 6. You're good over here with We Love Hip Hop Network, which means you're good all over the 6. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Perfect. I'm coming through. I don't need a strap, eh?
No. You're good. We just holler at your boy Friday Ricky Dread.
You take me to New Ho King or what?
Yeah. We'll go to New Ho King and get a chicken fried rice and whatever. No blammy.
No blammy. No need no blammy, Brody.
There you have it, man. We got Matt from What's the Dirt in the building. Before I get out of here, I gotta give a quick salute to the sponsors. I didn't do that in the top of the video, but I'll insert a few, sponsor ads in here. But big salute to Diamond Club, carrier of Canada cans and many other products. Hit them up on their Instagram page, Diamond Club _Canada. Big salute to Steamin' Hot Grabba. Hit them up on their Instagram page, Steamin' Hot Grabba. And last but not least, big up to Gas Packs Original. Hit them up on their Instagram page. Same thing, Gas Packs Original. What's the Dirt in the building?
Let's go.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe on the way out for all y'all watching on the YouTubes. We are off of this.
Let's
Deuces.
go. We love hip hop.